it's Jai452 here, and we're back again, rummaging around on the inside of Cosplay in the big old cupboard. And today we're joined by my one and only partner in crime, my very own Mr. J, the one, the only David Gouck.
Hello.
So, David, we're going to jump right into this, and we're going to start with the very important question. When did you first start cosplaying?
Around about 5, 6 years ago, I kind of started when it was just kind of starting up in Scotland, really.
And what was that like when it was kind of just starting up? Was it something that was kind of looked at strangely, or?
It's generally still the same attitude that it is now. The groups were just smaller, that's all, really.
And which kind of event did you start going to? Did you go to a small local event, or did you go to one of the big ones? What was your first
The
one?
one I went to was just a little small event with Cosplay Scotland.
Awesome. And what was that like? Was it nerve-wracking, or were you like geared up and ready to go?
I was kind of nervous at first, but I was kind of quiet. Like, wasn't very much pressure on you really to do like a big huge thing really, since it was like a kind of local one instead of like a big huge event.
Awesome. So my next question to you has to be, who or what inspires you to cosplay?
Most of the time when I do cosplay, I normally do it just as characters that I quite like or I'd find intriguing, that I can maybe put a bit of my acting skill into that way and maybe bring something new. The way I kind of started off doing it was I wanted to do characters people hadn't done before, and then that way mine was always going to be unique, but I kind of still incorporated that now, and I do put a little bit of my own personal acting skills into it. I'm doing my cosplays.
Awesome. So we see that you're done up as a Joker just now. And you and me have obviously done different kind of events where we've been together, and we've done Harley and the Joker. Can you take us through a little bit of the process that you went through today to get ready as Joker?
The first thing I always do is I always advise people is prep your face. Just basically, if you're going to do something like Joker, always give your face a little wipe first, so all the oils are away, so not getting involved with the paints and stuff like that. Always have a little tub nearby, little tiny brushes and big brushes, and makeup sponges are my go-to thing. For makeup wise, you get good and bad ones. It just depends on your own style and how you like to mess about with it, I suppose. Other than that, I've always got a big mirror, round circular mirror with me. I don't use my camera. I just seem to get a better reflection that way, so I can mess about with it easier. Always have separate cups for your reds, blacks and whites, so they don't mix in and you end up getting black splotches on your face or red splotches on your face, etc. Other than that, this is just a surgeon gown that I made. My hair is actually green. I dyed it a couple of months ago, and it's just stayed like that ever since. These are just leather gloves.
Now, there's a funny story that's tied into cosplay with your hair colour that I'm kind of hoping that you won't mind me telling.
Yeah, when you go.
Originally, you and me had planned to cosplay as Max Caulfield and Chloe Price.
Yep.
And you wanted to do Chloe, so you said, okay, I'm going to dye my hair blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to you, are you working up from a blonde colour to begin with, or are you just going to go straight blue? And you told me, I'm going to go straight blue. And I told you, well, remember that it could end up going green.
Yep.
And you said, "Oh, I'll be fine, I'll be fine." How many days was it before your hair went kind of green?
Well, maybe a week or two. And I just like I was like psychologically, I think what the acting part of me was like, yeah, secretly Gary Green, so you have to technically be Joker all the time. And I was like, I hate you so much. But it kind of worked out. The Koi stuff I went okay. I think I'll do it later on again once I learn to do makeup better. So I can actually look more female.
I remember the day that you posted that your hair was like more green than blue on Facebook, and I just remember sitting there saying, "I'm not gonna say I told you so."
It just happens.
It happens. Okay. So, what has been the most challenging cosplay that you've ever done, both from the creation of the costume and the acting side of it? Because a lot of people sometimes don't realise a little bit of acting involved, whether it be doing the voice of a character, posing like the character, or just generally moving the way the character would move. So for you, what has been the most challenging one to start with?
The making stuff, I would say, thus far it's got to be between my Tron costumes and my current Game of Thrones OC character stuff. Just the shaping of the metal has just been so hard. But I've managed to get through it and I've developed another skill, so I suppose that's kind of with the Tron stuff. It's more with the little glow lights that you have, the ear wire. It's really difficult to get it to stick to a place and keep the lights going on at the same time. And it can all come to a head just a day before, and then half the lights aren't working, and you go, why? Just why? Acting wise, I would say, since I'm an actor first, I do a lot of stage and voice acting, so that comes a lot more naturally to me. I do a lot of method acting on the side as well. That's what I do with my stage and my voice acting. So for that, I would really have to say that Joker has been the most tiring. He's a very draining character, and I regret doing him for a year, which was just not fun at all. Towards the end of it, I ended up just realising I was laughing, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's Joker laugh. I'm getting too much into the character now. And I had to go back to a couple of my acting classes to separate it a bit more. For the acting side, whenever I do a character, I try to incorporate a part of what's true about me into the actual character, and that way it's easier to act it that way.
Awesome. Maybe take us through some of the costumes for Tron, because I've seen you sent me. Oh, I kind of lost you there for a second.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. We'll get that edited out. So, I've seen some of the stuff that you've done for Tron because you've posted it on your Facebook and sent through some of the videos that you've done. What was the kind of process there? Because that's something that I've never really seen done in cosplay before. I've seen like the clothing side, like the fabrics, and I've seen some of the metal work for armors and Iron Mans and Master Chiefs. Tron, definitely a little bit different. So, can you take me through some of that?
With Tron, the glow lights aren't very good. I have to be brutally honest. They're only really good in a place that's already dark or somewhere where it's not well lit. The lights themselves is called EL wire or EL tape. That's the letter E and then the letter L. It just means illuminating. and you've got to stick it to the clothes, and it comes off a little power pack about that size.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like kind of like fairy lights, really, but they're really, really small when they light up, and sometimes they flash and sometimes they go really quick. The best material I've found to use with it is leather. If I was going to do it again, I learned my lesson from using just normal cloth. It was just brutal and it just fell apart almost immediately. For obviously glue wise, you need to stick it, and once you stick it, the wire's immediately not going to come off, so you have to be quite confident of where you want to do it. The kind of glue that I used was a mix of 3 different proxy glues, so it wasn't too stiff, but it held on quite well. For the leather one, I used super glue because the proxy glue just wasn't sticking to it that I made. I had to use round about 3 different ones, which was quite hefty, but you can get longer wires. You can get from 3 to 10 metres, it just depends on what you want to do with it. It comes in red, blue, yellow, basically any colour you really want, which kind of helps with the Tron effect.
So have you taken Tron out to any Comic-Con convention?
I've never done it at a big event, but I've done it for twice for the big Glasgow ones in Scotland, and I never got any joy from that for awards wise. But it was more the making of it that I found quite interesting, and it was a different skill that I learned that way. I would say it was the more difficult side because of the wire and the fiddliness of it.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what is the most difficult thing or character to cosplay as from your own personal experience?
It's quite difficult to say. Every character, for me, it's more the acting side rather than the makeup and developing in it side. The one I put the most effort into, and I would say the equally acting wise, would say it would probably be Joker, because I did about 4 or 5 different ideas in a year, and I just did Joker for a year. Just developing them and making them all different was a really difficult process. And later on I found I did a Telltale version of Joker, and about 3 or 4 months later it was announced that Telltale Games was actually going to make a Batman series. Just like you.
I remember you telling me about that, and because like a lot of my friends have been playing the Telltale games for Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And we had just done what event was it we went to when you did Telltale Joker?
I think it was the one where you won, if I remember right.
The Halloween one?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was your zombie Joker.
It must have been before then, because I remember you did Patchwork Hayden. I was pretty sure that was the one that you
Patchwork Hayden was Halloween, and you were zombie Joker. Because I remember specifically that you were working with liquid latex.
Yeah.
And we were like, you had that big gash there at the side of your face, and we were telling people that you'd angered me during the night, so I just smacked you with my hammer. There's actually,
I must have been August then.
I think it was just the event before that, because I remember you like getting so excited, and you were like, "They're doing a Telltale Batman game," and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, "What?"
So I came up with that idea first, because I planned my cosplays a year ahead of time, so there's no way that I didn't come up with that idea first. So I'm just like going to imagine if it looks exactly like the idea I came up with. Is just a bit, I'd be like amazed if that would happen.
Definitely. So I'm gonna ask, what kind of opportunities has doing cosplay presented you? Like things like being able to do short movies, photo shoots, voice acting, that kind of thing. So has cosplay presented anything like that for you?
Recently, I was contacted by a small group of people to do Joker voice because I were going to do like a live reading of a particular comic. It's supposed to be one of the older ones, so they're going to send me over the script for it in a couple of weeks' time. And that's
Awesome.
probably the most highlighted thing that I've been able to do. I would say doing this it helps with my acting capabilities more. So with acting, you need to learn extremes so you can incorporate that into bits and pieces. And it just so happens that I've always cosplayed as people that are slightly unhinged, slightly mad, slightly a bit crazy, and just the way it happens. Maybe it's something my psychology is trying to tell me.
Maybe. So when you've been doing these cosplay events, there are big ones and there are small ones. Which ones do you prefer going to more? Do you prefer the bigger ones or the smaller ones?
I prefer, it's a little bit of both. With the bigger ones, you get to meet more people, etc. With the smaller ones, it just seems not as tiring. You'll know yourself when you go to like Collector Mania or MCM, it's a big day, and at the end of the day, you're really tired. And I remember for one of the first MCM I ever went to, I was that tired that I didn't get changed out of it, and I just ended up going back into just falling asleep in my costume. It was that bad. For the little events, it's a lot easier to hydrate and like kind of sit about and maybe relax a bit more. But with the bigger events, there's nowhere. Yeah, you're kind of constantly moving all the time, but you get to interact with a lot more people that way. You might have not been able to otherwise.
I think like one of the funny things that I think of when it comes to big versus small, um, the we met at one of the big ones. We met at Collectomania, and there were times when I knew just for when you were doing the Joker voice whereabouts you were, and then other times when I was like, "Oh, where did that guy that was saying the Joker go?" But when we went to the smaller event together, it was kind of slightly more difficult for you to keep track of me because I kept like wandering away to look at stalls. But I actually liked the smaller events that little bit more because it was more personal and you could get to talk to people. So that was very fun. When you're doing these cosplay events, what is the one thing that you're most excited about and the one thing that either you used to find was nerve-wracking or you still kind of do?
One thing I always kind of look forward to is doing contests, and for me, it's not about winning the contest or anything like that. It's more about seeing what other people have brought to it, and then maybe you can get an idea that way. I still kind of like doing that. This year, I kind of want to look towards maybe being a judge or doing something along that way, but that's not up to me. That's up to other people. I can only do my best in cosplay, which I've always tried to do. Especially the last 2 years, I've felt that I've stepped up a gear now. Mm-hmm. That all my cosplays are now that I'm quite happy with, but beforehand I didn't have the skills or I hadn't learned enough to be able to get the idea that I wanted to do. But that's why people in the cosplay scene especially, they're a lot more helpful. They tend to do more to help you than like other kind of fandoms that way. They're more open about sharing stuff rather than, no, this is my secret and I'm never going to tell anyone it because I don't want you to be as good as me. But I would say cosplay, that's not a thing. Like, everybody wants to help everybody improve their stuff.
Awesome. So what is one of the things that when you go to these events that you're most nervous about? Or used to be?
Nervous now, I wouldn't really. I've been doing it for 5, 6 years. The most thing that I'm kind of nervous about is what I get ready at home, so I have to go on public transport with like this, and it's just the looks you get, and you're like, yeah, I'm that guy.
Now, when you're talking about that, I remember the first time we went to a smaller event, and I pulled into Glasgow bus station, and I was like, okay, I wonder, like, I had this kind of thought in my head. I was like, I wonder what David looks like out of makeup, because at that point I'd only ever seen you in either half makeup, like what your Skype picture has, or in full Joker makeup. There was a couple of times when I had seen you like not in makeup, and I was like, okay, I wonder if he'll be like there, not in makeup, kind of thing, because I was kind of concerned that I wasn't in makeup. And lo and behold, you were in full Joker makeup when I met up with you at the station, and we went through Glasgow, and you got more shouts for like Joker, better watch out for Batman, and other odds and ends like that. And hello, somebody who's playing XCOM 2 on Steam. Well done for you. You got your shameless plug in. Um, how does that make you feel when people are like screaming, "Yay, Joker!" Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Positive reinforcement kind of stuff.
it's not always positive. I think people are kind of they try to get a reaction out of you, but most of the time I'm still in the character, so I just react to them in the character, and 90% of the time I just leave them destroyed. There's like some who's asking me, "Oh, is that you gonna go to the comic shop and read?" I'm awesome, and just walk away and stuff. It's just immediately. It's just when you're in the character, it's different from when people start reacting to you, because they think they're getting a reaction they want, but you're giving them exactly what you're doing anyway.
Hmm.
So it's beneficial either way, really. But I suppose in anywhere like maybe you'll eventually get people that aren't as nice.
While we're talking about people's reactions, I just want to touch on the reaction that you get from children sometimes, because certain characters are slightly more, I would say, like certain cosplay characters are slightly more geared towards children recognizing them.
Hmm.
Um, what have been some of the best reactions you've had from kids?
Um, That's gonna sound really bad. But I was doing Joker. I think it was just the first Joker that I did. And doing the year of a Joker, and I was in the classy grand, and we are doing the 2 floors. So I was going up to the second floor, and there was this kid. He's like, "Oh, mummy, look, it's Joker!" And I just started laughing and doing the Joker laugh, and then he cried. I scared a little kid, and I'm still slightly proud of that. That was so in character. I managed to scare a kid. But I was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's like I was only interacting with you." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And it's like, okay. The other stuff that I kind of liked doing was I did when my little brother and sister did cosplay with me that one time, and they were doing the Gravity Falls characters, Mabel Pines and Dipper Pines, and a lot of the kids reacted to them more, and I kind of enjoyed that.
Awesome. Do you happen to remember the reaction of one kid that we seen during the Halloween event,
No.
that seen you when you were in Joker makeup? Um, Now, I was worried that I was going to scare kids at that event, because we did the painted stitches all over my face.
Hmm.
Or not many people know this, but you did the painted stitches all over my face. Um, but I was so scared that I was going to scare any children, and I think the thing that was running through my head was like, working with children, so I know what would scare them.
Oh,
And I was like, oh God, please don't let me scare any children. Please don't let me scare any children. And you and me seen this little kid who was up in his mum's arms, and we just kind of went like that to look at him, and he kind of turned his face into his mother's neck, and I immediately knew then. I was like, okay, kid's just so not interested, just leave him, kind of thing. And then you tried to see if he was okay, and he just immediately started crying. And I don't know whether or what your reaction to that was, but I just felt so bad for you, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry, it's okay. He's probably just tired." I think we both said to the mum, is he okay?" And she did say, "Yeah, he's tired. So like, don't take it personally." Um, so it's not the first time a small child has cried at scary makeup. Um, do you remember seeing the little Ghostbuster kid?
he goes to quite a lot of the big Glasgow events.
Happened to find out that his younger brother was there that day, as well. So that's pretty awesome. I think they were done up as a little bug,
Mm.
and I did happen to go out over to them, and I kind of went to give him a little tickle, and he just, before I even got anywhere close to tickling him, all I was thinking was like, please don't cry, please don't cry. Before like the first tickle could be done, he just started laughing. I was like, oh, thank God, that's such a great reaction. And I was kind of wanting you there to see that because awesome reaction. So that's getting sidetracked there, which happens in interviews, obviously. So what other opportunities have cosplay presented you with?
I don't do like a lot of stuff. Cosplay hasn't given me hundreds of like opportunities. I more use it for acting purposes and developing my characters. The best thing I've ever had is doing, as I said recently, somebody's asked me to do the Joker for doing a like comic thing. I've had offers to do other things as well, but I've just turned them down because they just didn't sound like the kind of thing that I wanted to do. I was offered to open a comic store or something, but they wanted me to be very specific about what I was saying and stuff like that. And I was just like, well, for my acting side of things, I wouldn't be very comfortable with just blatantly promoting like the thing non-stop. Is that that's not what cosplay is about. Cosplay is about the interaction with the character rather than, oh, you're just hired to be like the PR guy. Other than that, I prefer doing the more face-to-face interactions than anything else. I don't think I'm not really in cosplay to get things out of it. I'm in it to just be do cosplay. That's it.
Okay. So my next question is actually in relation to some things that can happen within cosplay. When you've been doing the cosplay events, you've obviously entered into things like the cosplay masquerade.
Yeah.
What kind of runs through your head when you're doing these masquerades?
I've done them like 3 times. Before the first time, I didn't really do anything. I just did the costume and thought, here you go. I did a couple of poses and then went off the stage. But then I kind of seen people were doing a lot more performances and stuff like that, so I decided to incorporate stuff like that. The second time, I kind of did a few quotes and stuff like that. And then the third time, I did like a comedy routine that I'd worked on a while, and I thought it went quite well, I think. Other than that, I'll probably do stuff like that again. I'm planning on maybe doing stuff like that, and that way you can get more interaction that way.
Awesome. When you've been doing skits and such likes, because that's officially what they're called, what now that this can be for any character, what kind of thing do you look for? What to you makes a good cosplay skit?
A bit of two things is really what I would say is kind of what judges look for is dedication to the character, as in knowing what that character would be like, and still developing something personal so that it's a little bit different from something that they've seen before. Because if it's just like an exact copy of like the last three Catwoman it's been on and you do the exact same thing, it's not going to have any more impact than the last three people that did it. So try to be a little bit original, but still keep to the core of who that character is, which is what I did when I did the comedy routine. I told jokes the Joker would actually tell, and also still did the voice and stuff like that. I did say they actually asked me to come back on because they thought it was quite funny, but I'd run out of material, so I was like, I've got nothing left.
In your opinion, what is the best and the worst things that a new cosplayer can do when they're getting ready to go to an event?
There's the best thing I could really say to do is, if you're going to go to an event, make sure you know what that event is about, and make sure you know where it is, and if you don't know exactly where it is, get somebody to take you. Beforehand, I would say a lot of pre-planning is quite a good idea. What I do is I make a little chart from head to your body, to your legs, to your feet, and just write beside each part, what do I need for this character, and what do I have that can already maybe incorporate. The worst thing I could maybe say is always bring water with you. You don't realise at the time, but being very energetic, which most cosplays are, you have to move around a lot, especially with heavy clothing. You can get exhausted and get heat exhaustion quite easily. So always remember to take little breaks and have a little drink now and then.
When we say about heat exhaustion there, guys, I think one of the costumes that both me and David can agree on would be the armour types of costumes. So your Stormtroopers, your Iron Mans, your even the likes of your Game of Thrones types of characters that are in heavy metal costumes, and to a degree the Wookiees that you might see, or even Ewoks, those guys are going to be boiling because you're pretty much in that kind of costume all day long, and it can get very hot very quickly. So if you're going to do costumes specifically like that, make sure you have plenty of water with you, that you're well hydrated and you won't do yourself an injury. So what would be one of the more interesting props that you've had? Because you've had quite a few props with you when you've been doing different cosplays.
If you look behind me, you can kind of see quite a lot of them there. I would say I make like all of my props. I make every single one of them. I would say the one that I've had most, apart from the Tron stuff, those were bought. The one I had most fun with is probably the plasma gun, which you can't see. It's this thing here. That's that. And it lights up like that.
Sweet.
It's from the TV show Stargate Atlantis. Chris Judge, the person that played Tulk from SG1, signed it for me.
Nice.
That was the most. That's been used the most, and I still think it's my favourite prop till this day. The other one that I kind of had a lot of fun with was the Tron discs. You can see there. Just for magnet wise, and being able to have it stick to my back, and I thought it was a really cool thing. And kind of just have it hanging there and let people not really knowing how it works.
Awesome. So we're going to change up the the questioning here. So I'm going to ask you for your top 5 or top 3 funniest moments while you've been in cosplay.
Top funniest moments. That's quite difficult. I think one of them's got to be when I did the comedy routine. I just loved doing that. It was brilliant. I really felt in character at that time. Another one I kind of think would be just when I was doing the trolling stuff, the amount of times that the disc fell off, it just began to be funny. I just didn't care anymore at that point. It was the last time I was doing the Tron thing. It just fell off like every 10 seconds, and I was just like, I give up. I just give up. Other than that, I would kind of say when we were doing this, and I did the Star Wars event, it was really cool to see people doing the live saber fights. Was really cool. I know that's not really kind of funny, but I thought that was like quite a fun thing to see.
Yeah. Awesome. So getting back to props, when going to a cosplay event, are props a hindrance? Do you feel that they can be a hindrance or a big help?
It depends on what size they are. Sometimes they can be really annoying. You having to carry them about all day. But if you have them holstered right, or they can really add to your the character that you're doing. Especially when I was doing Joker, and I had that kind of really long gun that was kind of a shout back to doing Jack Nicholson when he had the big gun and he shoots down the Batwing. I thought it was quite a funny thing to see that. I think it can add quite a lot to your character. It adds another aspect to it rather than you just doing the plain clothing. Okay. It kind of helps that way, so maybe you can do a lot more photos that way as well.
On the subject of photos, when it's just purely a photo shoot, props, yay, nay?
I would say if you're doing a photo shoot, I would bring props, and you don't. It gives you a lot more variety of what you're able to do with it, rather than just maybe a couple of action poses like that if you're doing Superman or something like that. But then Superman.
So when you're doing a photo shoot, do you prefer to be cosplaying as a character that is most likely to have a prop?
Yeah. When I do photo shoots, it's either ones that I've worked on quite a long time that I feel a connection with more. That I feel like I did a really good job in that, and I want to kind of remember how that looked in that moment.
Awesome. Now you and me did a what was your favourite photo from that particular shoot? Because we had props that we did use on that one.
I think we got quite a lot of. We got like 5 individual each and like 10 together, if I remember right. I quite like individual one. I quite like when I was doing that one. I was doing there. The together one, I liked when we were doing the side by side. I had the gun pointing towards the camera, and you just had the hammer raised. I thought it was quite well sunk in, and it looked quite nice visually. I don't know if I'd be able to pick between those two, so I think those
two are good. For me, like I like the one with your gun where you've got it pointed to your head, and
pin one as well when it's like that.
The one of the ones that I really do like, where it's like me on my own kind of thing, is where I'm kind of looking over my shoulder. So it's just like the back of my costume just being in full view. I always think that one's pretty cool. But the one where we're together, now there's 2 where we're together that I just can't choose between. And it's one of the ones where you're kind of like holding me, I think by the neck, and I'm kind of looking up at you. when we recreated one of the more famous Joker and Harley pictures.
Yeah, yeah. What we're trying to do with those group photos, we're really trying to recreate famous covers.
Which is the cover of one of the comic books I actually have. The other one, now I said to you about this one, there's a guy over in America called, I think it's something creepy this way comes, who did like a gangster version of Joker, and he had a Harley who I can only guess she was supposed to be like Harley from Arkham Knight, like really early photos of it, and he's in the foreground and she's kind of like hugging him like around the neck. So I said to you, why don't we try and recreate that, because I thought that was a really cool image and it's something that Harley and Joker would probably do. So that's one of the ones that I always love, because that has a kind of, well, that I always like because that has a kind of specialised meaning to me, that we've recreated a photograph from another fellow cosplayer kind of thing.
Yeah.
So those are my kind of favourite ones. So the whole props thing, you say that you make your own. Which one has been took you the longest to make?
The one that's taken me, it still took me the longest, is the chest plate for my Game of Thrones character. I started making it April, May, June, July, November last year. I'm still making it now. It's still annoying me so much. I managed to, the paladins, which is from here to like here, those are quite easy to do. They were just 3 separate pieces of metal, and I just leather backed them and joined them up like that. It was quite easy. Other than that, I would say the bleach sword.
I can see it.
And the claymore, the 2-handed sword. You can see if there. Yeah, the other one I quite like doing was the claymore. You can see, like.
Oh yeah. Wow, it's huge.
It had to be quite a long time. I'm still not quite happy with it. It still looks a bit wooden. So I'm going to have a little look at metallic plates and stuff like that.
That's amazing looking. It's like, so it's made from wood and what else?
Wood. String.
Just wood and wood.
Right. Wood and string. The little top part where you hold it is just old like boxing string, and I just dipped it in a cup of tea. That made it all quite dark brown.
Awesome. So my next question is age differences in cosplay there, as somebody starts hoovering in the background. So I'm really sorry if you can't hear me, guys, but this is a busy house. Age difference in cosplay. So obviously going to conventions for a very long time, you've seen a lot of different age groups. So maybe fill me in on a little bit of what you think of that.
Generally, I would really say that for the most part it's normally 18 to 25 that normally events, but the people that are older that go, they seem to be more experienced in doing it, which is always great. So you can ask them stuff like, oh, how do I do this, how do I do that, and then have the knowledge bombs and they just drop it on you. The younger ones that I've seen, they tend to do more kids characters, if that makes sense, rather than what the 19 to 25 year olds do. We do more comic book characters and stuff like that, or maybe from older generation films that people don't really know yet. ones that I've been seeing about that I expect quite a lot of, not in a bad way, it's probably Kylo Ren. I expect quite a lot of that when coming up cosplay competitions. I'd like to actually see maybe a Force Awakens group like Potan and Finn, Kylo Ren, all the new characters together. I'd love to see that happen.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you now, can you maybe let us in on one costume that you're planning for 2016 and then two that you're definitely going to do?
Planning, I tend to always at the beginning of the year do a little list as here's people I want to do. But one of my heroes, David Bowie, died this year, and I'd always been planning on doing a Life from Mars cosplay, which is his outfit from that music video. And that's what I'm going to do next. It's 90% finished. I'm just finishing doing the last little bit of sewing to the jacket, and then I'll get done. Upcoming, I did Year of Joker, so why not Year of Batman?
Yay!
That was the plan for this year until David Bowie died. I do have 3 plans. One of them is like 20% complete. I'm for the Saturday for MCM, and then Sunday I'm planning to do a Game of Thrones character. The Saturday one's probably going to be Justice League of Assassins Batman. This is going to be OC. Everything I do for comic stuff is my own idea. It's going to be what if Batman never left the League of Assassins, that kind of thing. That's what it's going to be based on.
Awesome.
The one after that is Vampire Batman. That's actually a thing already, so that's not my own OC. But I'm going to base it more on Nosferatu, which is the kind of the old school vampire who's got a long face and really long hands and stuff like that, rather than more the kind of humanized versions that you get now. After that, I was planning on doing like Terry McGinnis or Batman Beyond cosplay. I'm going to get somebody to help me with the mail work for that. After that, I'm planning on doing probably a Jared Legal thing, something like that. Or another idea I had was I seen a silent Joker, do the whole strap thing, and get like the kind of Hannibal Lecter mask thing on, that kind of thing. Trying to think of other ones I wanted to do. I want to do like an OC Star Wars merc, and if you look there, you can see like a little blaster that I'm making now. That's going to be after that, which will probably take me up to around about October, November time, which is the time where all the spooky stuff happens. I'm planning on doing Punk Joker for that. That's going to be my plan from now on for the rest of my cosplay life. Every October I'm going to do a Joker.
Awesome.
That's what I'm going to do. I'll do a different one every single time. November, December time. Unfortunately, I came up with this idea too late. Kind of near Christmas, I was watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is one of my favourite movies of all time, because Tim Burton is just my favourite movie. And I came up with this idea. I was like, well, Jack Skellington dresses up in Santa outfit. What if Joker dressed up in Santa outfits? He'd give you the presents you don't want, and it wouldn't matter if you've been naughty or nice. So I did just normal Joker makeup. I did a lot more smearing, so as if he'd been out in the weather or something like that, and it's got smeared a bit more. And I just did the normal Santa suit, and I did I'm going to bring you presents. I'm going to bring you the presents you don't want, Gotham, and it doesn't matter if you've been naughty or nice. And it's like, I came up with that idea and I ended up getting quite a lot of likes, but it was too late, there was no events, so I was like, damn, I could have been quite nice to interact with kids with that, just give them like presents with alarm clocks in it, so it's like constantly ticking over. That would have been quite a good idea.
Awesome. So the next question I've got for you is, what advice would you give to anybody who is looking to cosplay but doesn't really know where to start?
The best, always get advice. Don't try and like immediately do it yourself, because obviously there's going to be things that people know that you don't know. And everybody in the cosplay scene helps everybody. There's nobody you can pull. There's nobody that'll go, oh, I don't tell you this because I'm too good for that. So if you don't really know, it's like, how can I do this? Then there's always sites that you can go to get that advice. On Facebook, I would really encourage cosplay group. That's Cosplay Support Movement, and they do a lot more about body confidence and stuff like that as well. So people that are maybe larger don't have to worry about people moaning about stuff like that, which shouldn't really matter. But unfortunately, with
It does
this,
sometimes.
and it's happened to me, even though I'm one of the more famous people. But I just don't care anymore. It's like making fun of me, which is if you did any like psychological study, which just means that they're actually jealous of you.
Exactly. So this is the part of the interview where I like to hand over to the interviewee and say, if our viewers, who have been extremely patient today, have any further questions for you other than on this video, where can they get a hold of you? Can they get like Facebook? Do you have your own channel? Fill us in.
Channel later on. It's going to start round about the end of this month, and I'm going to do more about the acting inside and how to get into the character. And I think that's something that people haven't really done before. Again, that's the kind of thing that I always wanted to do. I wanted to bring something new to it rather than just repeating knowledge that's already been out there. Other than that, you can always find me on Facebook, David Gouck Cosplay. I answer every single message. I've been inundated with quite a lot of messages recently, and I always answer them, even if it takes me 2 to 3 hours, which I did one day, to sit and step by step help somebody. Disabled kid or something, and he wanted it called Alex Gutierrez, and he was from America, and he wanted to know how I got my skin looking this kind of pale white way, but not too.
It's a lot easier when we're from Scotland.
I kind of instructed him. It's like it's all about prep time and stuff like that, and I did a special video for him, 15 minutes. I just sent it directly to him. And he was so grateful, and I really love that interaction between people and cosplayers, because any other fandom that I can think of, cosplay is a lot more open that way, I think.
Awesome. Just as a heads up there, guys, David did this interview in February. This interview might be airing, so if his channel is already live, then you got the inside scoop here. And
I'm planning on launching my own YouTube page eventually, probably March time. It'll be more geared towards character acting and how to do these characters and what I've learned from doing it.
awesome.
Other than that, people can always find me on David Gouck Cosplay, and on Twitter at CM Punk Cosplay, which at the time was what was most infamous for doing.
Okay.
I always answer every message that I get on David Gouck Cosplay, so don't feel afraid to message me.
Okay, that's also you'll be able to answer people directly on the comment section, which, guys, it's like yeah, it's down there. Do you see it down there? The comment section? It's like totally down there. And also down there there's a thumbs up, so don't forget to give David a big thumbs up, tickle that thumb button. And I think there's a subscribe button down there too. You can subscribe to me on my channel. It's somewhere on the screen. give it a good click, so that you can be told of when I'm uploading new content, and you can also watch them and see what you think and let me know. So now's the time I'd like to thank David for taking the time out and spending it with us rummaging inside cosplay. And I think David's got a few special lines, or should I say, is it Mr. J that's got a few lines?
I can't wait to show you my toys. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad. I'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.